everybody, and welcome to this weekly update. I'm actually off this week and it feels very weird to be checking in on what's happening with Azure and talking about Azure news when I haven't been checking about it for the last 5-7 days, something like that. So let's get into it. And yes, I do have notes, so I will be looking at them just to keep me right while we talk about some of this. One of the things I want to talk about in the news that we've got is within Azure Advisor. They've added some new cost optimizations. So we've got some new right size recommendations for things like MariaDB, MySQL, PostSQL, database resources. So definitely check them out if you're running any of those, and check what Azure Advisor is saying about trying to right size those resources. You could potentially look at saving some money if you apply those. There's also some reserved instance recommendations that have been added around Cosmos DB, SQL PaaS, blob storage, app service, stamp fee, MariaDB, MySQL, PostSQL, and the Synapse and analytics as well. So definitely some things there to use. And again, if you haven't been using Azure Advisor or haven't had a chance to look at this, do check it out and see if there's anything you can do in terms of saving your organisation some money and using those as well. A preview service, the cost optimization is generally available. In preview, we've got a new GitHub Actions, which actually triggers Azure policy compliance scans. So you can build in triggering Azure policy to meet with compliance needs within your GitHub Actions and your GitHub workflows. So that's in preview. So again, I will post some links in the documentation or in the show notes below. So check them out and let me know if you're using it, if you have any feedback, any questions, anything around any of that would be quite good. We've also got Azure Site Recovery has released a new version or a roll-up update. I think that's version 49 or update 49. So again, if you're running Azure Site Recovery in your organisation, please do look at rolling out that update and applying that patch to your ASR servers and having a look at that, what that actually provides. I think it's mostly fixes in terms of bugs and stuff like that, but definitely do check it out and keep your resources up to date when you're running them. I think that's all the Azure news that I wanted to cover. As I said, I've been off all week, so I may have missed something. If there's been something cool that I haven't touched on, please do hit me up in the comments and let me know. I've tried to stay away from social media and I haven't looked at my work email. I haven't even looked at our team blog on itops.com to see what's been happening and what the team have been posting, if they've been posting anything at all. So it's been very weird, but it's been really relaxing, and definitely turning off my social media notifications has definitely helped me chill out. Even though I've been staying at home, my husband and I have explored parts of Scotland. We went for a couple of walks. I think over the last few days, we've probably walked about 30 kilometres, which is probably the most we've probably walked this year, given everything that's happened. But we've explored bits of Scotland and we've had some fantastic days out, and we've been actually quite lucky with the weather. We've managed to miss a lot of the rain that's hit Scotland this week. And yeah, I think today isn't great weather-wise, but I've got lots of chores indoors to do and lots of little admin tasks that I always put off, so I can do them today and just enjoy the last week of my holiday. What I did actually do in terms of catching up with some things is actually listen to a podcast. So my friend and fellow Scottish lassie, Lisa, has started a podcast called Lisa at the Edge, which I'm sure a lot of you might actually be already listening to. But she released episode 20 in her series, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and it's talking about the Azure Stack HCI announcements that dropped at Microsoft Inspire. And I'll be honest, a lot of that had skipped over the top of my head. I didn't really know where we were positioning Azure Stack HCI and how it fitted in with our hybrid profile. So I was really interested to listen to this episode, which featured a few people you might know. So Darren Small, another Scottish person who works for Microsoft, John Marlin, who is a Microsoft person, and I think he's based in Seattle, Thomas Maurer, so my fellow colleague who's from Switzerland, MVP Kenny Lowe, and JT Peterson Jackson as well were on the show, and they were all talking about the hybrid kind of platform and Azure Stack HCI, the operating system that was released or talked about at Inspire. So it answered a lot of questions. There's a ton of information, like absolute ton of information in that episode around what's happening in the hybrid market, when to use Azure Stack HCI operating system, when to use Azure Stack, just the hybrid offering, when to still use Windows Server 2019 and whatever next version comes after that, where you should be positioning it, how you should be thinking about your hybrid, how you should be thinking about designing future solutions. The episode's about an hour and 10 minutes long. It's a mammoth one, totally worth the time. If you do not listen to any other podcast or any other show this year, then episode 20 definitely has to be the one that you actually listen to. So I'll post a link in the bottom. Definitely do check out Lisa's podcast. As I say, she's done 20 episodes. I think she's having a little summer break now and she's going to start again in October. But you should have a good back catalogue if you haven't come across our podcast to catch you up. And then hopefully by the time you've caught up, she'll be doing new ones. But yeah, kudos to Lisa for that podcast. I've listened to all the episodes, although I haven't actually listened to the one that I was on because that's too cringy, listening to myself. But yeah, all the episodes are fantastic. They cover a wide variety of topics between technology, between career development, and yeah, massive information. But like I said, if you don't listen to any other podcast this year and episode 20 of Lisa at the Edge is the only one that you listen to, then it's totally going to be worth your time. Absolutely worth your time. So yeah, so that's me. I think I've had far too much coffee this morning already, and I'm going to go and head off and head into my admin tasks. What I'm going to do is leave you with some footage and photographs from me exploring Scotland over the last week, and I hope you enjoy, and I will catch you in the next one.